Hello and welcome to the Pods Like Us Quickfire 5. 5 shows of a kind in 5 minutes. Okay, so this time for a change we're looking at 5 shows that are not independent but are actually from a production team or a company. The first one is Real Blend, which is a show from the entertainment's news agency Cinema Blend, where Cinema Blend's managing editor, Sean O'Connell, is joined by Fox Entertainment's Jake Hamilton and Kevin McCarthy to look at what's happening in the world of film and television, giving reviews, news, interviews and playing the Blend game, where each week they pick a specific subject or person on which to choose their favourite. Interviews over the time that they have been going have included Quentin Tarantino, Ron Howard and Kevin Smith. The show is weekly and occasionally the show's producer, Gabe Kovacs, will join in or sub for a busy host. Second is Comic Book Nation, which is a show that is usually hosted by Kofi Outlaw, Matt Aguilar and Janelle Wheeler. This show is produced by the entertainment agency comicbook.com, and the show professes to do what it can for geek culture, looking at films, TV, comics, wrestling and anything else relating to the geek world. Reviews are honest, whilst showing no bias of any kind, even if they are screened by CBS Paramount. They will still say if any Star Trek show that is made by Paramount doesn't quite cut the mustard, as we say over here in England. Recent noteworthy content has included interviews with composer and director Michael Giacchino, comics legends Rob Liefeld and Jim Starlin. Also, they have interviewed the Shang-Chi cast when that film came out and so many more. Previous host Brandon Davis, by the way, now hosts the other comicbook.com show Phase Zero, which is about Marvel content. This Week in Marvel is an authorised podcast from Marvel themselves, where Ryan Penagos and Lorraine Sink will talk about what's happening in the world of Marvel, often joined by occasional third host James Monroe Iglehart. Films, TV, books, comics, podcasts and everything Marvel related is discussed, but in a manner that is also open and honest. Of course, they have had some incredible interviews in over 1,000 episodes so far, I believe, that they've put out. I would love to have the time to listen to these shows from before the time that I started listening around 2 years ago, but I haven't got the time. Maybe if I could find some replication technology, then that would be helpful. The Jerry Anderson podcast is a podcast that is produced by the Anderson Productions and is introduced by Jamie Anderson and actor Richard James, with a fantastic section called The Randomizer that is done by Chris Dale. The show has interviews, news items. Towards the beginning there's a fab fact where they will pick a fact to discuss that is little known for the most part. And they also have really good interaction with the listeners who send in questions or facts of their own. The interviews have included so many people over the years: puppeteers, actors, directors, musicians, composers and the like, as well as fans of Jerry Anderson shows. Mission Log is made by Roddenberry Entertainment, who are obviously owned by the family of Gene Roddenberry. Essentially, the son, Rod Roddenberry, is the main producer, and the show is hosted by John Champion and Norman Lau. During the show, they will either discuss specific episodes from all of the different iterations of Star Trek, as well as have the occasional interview, and every now and again they will pick a specific subject to look upon and see how Star Trek has touched those subjects. Each episode has a structure where they look at different sections to do with the shows and what we can learn from the show. Does it still work today, and those sorts of things. Anyway, thank you for listening to this first episode of the Quick 5. It was done in a bit of a rush, and hopefully it will get better in the future and hopefully be closer to the 5 minutes. Thank you. Hope you listen again. Bye. Thank you for listening to this Quick 5 episode of Pods Like Us. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok at Pods Like Us, and contact us on podslikeus@gmail.com.